Hi everybody, this is Kimberly. I'd love to talk to you today about what happens when I get that tickle in my throat and what can I do about it, because sometimes they can be so irritating. And especially with people being concerned with the COVID-19 virus, anybody coughing, everybody just goes, stay away. And understandably, because it is transmitted respiratory wise, but we definitely want to kind of squelch that and support the throat, especially since that's initially where the COVID virus actually lands, is in the throat, and tends to stay there a couple of days before it moves down into the lungs. So one thing that we have in our office is we do have some herbal throat spray. It works very, very well. This bottle usually lasts my entire family for about 18 months, so we can all use it, and it works very well. But I'd like to teach you something you can make at home really easily. You can get some nice warm water, almost hot, but it's helpful if it's not boiling, but get it nice and warm. And then you're going to actually grab a lemon, cut it up, and squeeze some of the lemon juice, a couple of wedges into it, but don't put the lemon wedges in it. Go ahead and toss the lemon wedges aside. And then grab some honey. If you can find a local beekeeper and grab some honey from them, that is really helpful, because those bees are running around your environment and grabbing stuff all over the place, from the trees and the flowers, and if you live in a lowland area, from all the stuff that's in that lowland area that you could have an allergy to, but maybe not. But it's definitely immune supportive because you're getting it from your local bees. And then grab a root of ginger. Ginger is anti-inflammatory, so if you peel this and you shred it really finely, you can put a little bit of that in the warm water, put your lemon in there, grab a teaspoon of some honey and go ahead and stir that up. But what's nice about it, if it's nice and warm, is that you can take some teaspoons of it and help it soothe your throat. This is a nice natural home remedy you can make that's really supportive of not only just your throat, but a lot of times if it's warm enough, it actually, as it goes down, actually warms up your whole lower area of your chest, which actually helps you keep more of this stuff open, helps you, keep the oxygen transferring better, as well as keeping congestion down, because that's really, really important. If you notice you're having a challenge with that, go ahead and grab some of these things. Keep them in your house. They're very easy to keep long term. If you notice my honey, this is actually from my bees. I have 4 hives here at my home, and honey actually will go solid, and that is totally fine. It does not mean that it's any less valuable or beneficial. You'll even see up here, there's a little ring, I don't know if you can see this, a little ring that's actually crystallizing. So it was liquid at one time, but over time it will actually turn solid. So when I actually put it into something warm, it immediately softens up and goes right into the liquid. So it's very important to not put your honey into boiling water or to put it into the microwave, because that can actually harm it. Homemade honey actually has lots of good immune boosting properties. The bees actually make what's called propolis in the hives, which is actually their form of an antibiotic for themselves, and sometimes you get some pollen in here and some propolis as well. This is natural raw honey. All I do is I filter it with some basic cheesecloth. So this is exactly what I spin off of my hives. And it's also helpful if you have a local beekeeper, have a talk with them about what they feed their bees. Right now, my bees are awake and alive and they're moving around, but there's nothing for them to eat. There's no dandelions. The very first thing that our bees look for is dandelions. So until that time, we have to feed them something to keep them alive. So currently, we have regular cane sugar made into sugar patties. That's what they need to eat to be able to keep them alive and producing. They're not producing any honey right now. They're just gearing up to start adding some brood to their hive. But if your beekeeper is feeding high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup, that's actually very harmful to the bees, and it's harmful to you. So I encourage you to have a conversation with them. And hopefully they're using regular cane sugar. Organic cane sugar is actually toxic to them as well. So you'd think that we should be using organic cane sugar, but it's not. Organic cane sugar is helpful for us as humans, but not for the bees. So again, try to get back to things as naturally as possible. That's why I love using herbals in our office and whole food supplements. But I also love to get as much as possible through our diet. So this big jar of honey is going to last me a long time. And this big root of ginger will last a long time. This is a warming herb, so when you actually grate this, I encourage you to start slow, adding it into your water. Make sure that you understand how warm it can be, because sometimes you can actually make it a little too hot in the aspect of not hot heat, but hot as an herbal can get hot. But that really helps promote circulation of blood. Lemon, a lot of times we always think the American way, if a little is good, a whole lot more is better. Not here. A couple of wedges, 1 to 2 wedges, just squeezed into your water and tossed away is perfectly fine. You don't need to put a whole half of a lemon or a whole lemon into that. that's not necessary. But hopefully these tips are helpful. Please feel free to comment down below if there's any more information you'd like. We love to be driven by our people who watch this, and if we can answer questions, we'd love to interact with you. But we encourage you to stay happy, stay healthy, and be well.